What's going on, everybody? If you can hear me, type Y in the chat box. I see Roman says he cannot hear me. What about you, Shauna? Can you guys hear me? Let me know. All right, Veronica. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you, Ken. Hope everybody's had a great Christmas vacation so far. You might still be on vacation. That's great. Because of the money I make, I'm always on vacation. Letting money work for you. We'll get started in just a second. I haven't done a crypto talk in a couple of days now, so give it a second and we'll get started. My phone spelled Bitcoin wrong. I'll edit that out later. Ken says this Christmas has limits, next Christmas no limits. And Christmas 2018 should be the best Christmas you have ever had. Eric says, do I remember Freaknik in Atlanta? Man, I was in Atlanta from 94 to 98, of course. What I heard, though, was the best Freaknik was a year before I was there, 93. So I didn't get there till 94. So 94 Freaknik, 95, I think it rained. 95 or 96 Freaknik. Yeah, 96 Freaknik. It rained. So actually, no, my first Freaknik was 95. Because I was a freshman in September, August, September 94. So we didn't experience that till 95. You were there too, Eric, in 95? Yeah, that's right. My wife is standing here like, yeah, she remembers it. What year did it really die? 97? 96 was really like the last
96
one?
96 started because it was raining. And,
yeah.
Yeah, so it was about 96. About 97, definitely.
97 was kind of dead. Yeah, that's when the police had blocked off the entire interstate. You couldn't even get off on the exits back then. All right, people are like, what in the world are you talking about? Hey, John, you're absolutely right. BitConnect is on fire. This morning, and I mean early this morning, maybe like 3 a.m. or so, it was at $220-something a coin. Here we are now, a couple of hours later, it's at $371 a coin. So, yeah, it is exploding. So the other altcoins, Bitcoin is starting to come up. Let me do a quick check here on the boards. What is the boards looking like? It's all green now. All weekend it was mostly all red. Bitcoin is up 8%, 15,400. Got Ethereum's up, Bitcoin Cash is up, Ripples is up. So the top 8 coins are all positive. Only NEM is showing a negative 8%. We got 17% on EOS. That's nice. That's nice. All right, here, let me pause this and we can go ahead and get this thing started with a couple of articles. Christmas time. Everybody excited about this past Christmas? Did you have a great Christmas with your family? Were you able to provide for your family this year? That's always a struggle for many people. That's one of those unspoken things you don't hear on Facebook. Everybody wants to floss about how nice everything is and going on in their lives on Facebook, on social media, but behind the scenes, it might be a different story. Well, I am here to tell you that based on the decision you make now going into 2018, you can make December 2018 the best Christmas you have ever had. I'm already claiming that. I already know for my family, December 2018 will be the best Christmas we have ever had. So I'm excited about that, getting ready for 2018. Here's something else I was excited about as well. I remember back in the days when I used to work a 9-to-5 job. We loved Christmas vacation, especially if you were on salary, because you still got paid if those Christmas days. But then you've got people that work hourly. They get paid by the hour. And even though they love the time off, they don't get paid during that time off, and it added an extra strain because now you've got 4 days at the end of December, 2 days Christmas, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, if those days fall during the week. So one thing that I loved was the fact that on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I made over $1,700, no matter if I got out of bed or not, while celebrating time with family. And I love that feeling. I had never, even in the MLM days, December has always been the slowest month of the year because that's when people take time off, they clock out, they don't spend money on the products and on auto ship because they're buying Christmas presents and they're paying bills. So December traditionally for me, other people say it's always been their best month, especially in the product-based companies. But for me, it's always been the slowest month. This month, I made more money in the month of December than I ever have before and any other December because of cryptocurrency, letting your money work for you. And we'll talk about that a little more at the end, but a couple of articles I wanted to go over first is the price in Bitcoin is rising right now. It's coming back up. How many of you guys got scared last week? And it's okay, be honest. Bitcoin was at 19,500 and dropped all the way down to 12,500, and people lost their mind. Well, it was the new people that were not used to investing in this space. They saw all the hype around Bitcoin and got in and bought it at $18,000, $19,000, even $17,000, and it dropped like a rock. And they all got scared. I can't tell you how many times I saw on social media somebody saying that they were losing money, so they sold their Bitcoin when it was at $14,000 and $13,000 to prevent more losses. And I'm like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? No, the only way you lose in crypto trading, the only way you lose is when you sell. That's the only way you lose. I made a mistake. I saw it rising right before Christmas. When I saw it hovering around that 18,200 to 18,500, and the CME had just launched last week, and there were experts that are saying that it might get to $25,000 by Christmas, definitely by the end of the year. I wanted to take advantage of that, so I broke from my own protocol. And I need to learn to stick to my plan and my guns. But I broke from my protocol to try to make a quick extra buck. So I moved the money into the Bitcoin account side of things. It was about $2,100 I put over there because I wanted to make an extra $1,000 on the rise. And it's like almost immediately after I did that, isn't that how it always happens? The entire crypto market dropped. Literally immediately, like 5 minutes after I did that, it started dropping and it didn't stop. and went all the way down. So I lost about a little over 1,000 in value. So then here's where, when you have some knowledge of the space, it worked in my favor. I knew the only way for me to lose is if I were to sell it right now. So I just held on to it. And I've been holding ever since. And the sucker's coming right back up. So I've already gained half of what I had lost, and it's still rising. So you only lose when you sell. This is why you got to be educated on this space and know what's going on and how to maneuver. You just can't jump in and say, I've got some money, I want to invest. That's the worst type of person. You've got to have some knowledge. So let's talk about this article right here. The futures effect. Bitcoin price surges 10% and rebound to 1,500. And let me look again at what it is right now. Refresh. 16,300. 16,000. It's up 15.88%. That's not bad. I'm only 300 away from recuperating what I lost, because in essence I bought the high when normally you buy the low and you sell on the high. So this article talks about the recent price surge. Oh, wait, let me go back. Earlier today, on December 26th, Bitcoin price surged by more than 10% and enters the $15,000 region for the first time this week. The recent price surge of Bitcoin follows a major correction which occurred on December 23rd and 24th, which led to a sudden drop in the price of Bitcoin to $11,500. However, within less than 48 hours, Bitcoin and most of the cryptocurrencies in the market had recovered in value. Trav, a Bitcoin analyst, suggested that the price of Bitcoin has surged throughout the past 24 hours because of the resumption of Bitcoin futures trading on the Chicago Board Options Exchange, the CBOE, and the CME, since regulated stock markets and options exchange only operate during the weekdays. So in other words, guys, today is business day. Today is an official business day, so the markets are open, people are trading, and the market is rising. So here's something else we're going to need to get used to, because it's never been this way over the past 9 years. The majority of the money that's going to come into this marketplace is going to come from those traditional, CBOE, CME, the NASDAQ, the stock exchange market. So because of that, those tradings take place during the week, not on the weekend. So we need to get used to it being a little stagnant on the weekend, and then for it to dramatically go up or down. Notice I said that, because it can go either way, up or down when the market opens on Monday. So since yesterday was a holiday, the markets open today. Trading resumed with the big CBOE and the CME, and you see the market rising. So this is something new for us when we do our own futures and our own analysis, and we're charting what we want to do with our money. Understand the dates. Understand when the markets are opening and closing. This is a skill you need to learn. Okay. Why did the market move? Futures open tonight. There's a new dynamic in town. On CBOE and CME, the demand for Bitcoin from institutional and retail investors in the traditional finance market has been evident. Given that the price of Bitcoin on the two platforms have been higher than that of the global average Bitcoin price, currently on CBOE, Bitcoin is being traded at $15,500, while the global average price remains just short of $15,050. Other major Bitcoin markets, including Japan and South Korea, have also demonstrated significant premiums over the past few days. On Bithumb, the world's second largest cryptocurrency exchange based in South Korea, Bitcoin is being traded at over $19,000 with a $4,000 premium over the global average. Let me scroll down here. Let's go Bitcoin price in 2018. In 2018, several investors, including billionaire hedge fund investor Mike Novogratz, 10x founder Julian Hosp, and Max Kaiser noted that the price of Bitcoin could reach $60,000 experiencing both minor and major corrections on the way. I think we're going to see Bitcoin hitting the $60,000 mark, but I also think we're going to see Bitcoin hitting the $5,000 mark. Oh, now that's a swing. What he's saying is he thinks that there might be a major correction that's going to see Bitcoin drop all the way down to $5,000. And then it's going to rebound and go all the way up to $60,000. Now, I'll make my own prediction on this. If he's correct, if it drops down to $5,000, all of the critics, all of the media, all of the bankers will be out there screaming, "See, I told you so. The bubble has burst. It was a scam. It was a fraud. It was tulip mania. It crashed on you. I told you." All those investors lost their money. Well, if they sold, they lost money. But then what's going to happen? It rebounds and it's going to shoot sky high. And that is the time, when you see this sucker drop like that, that is the time to buy as much as you possibly can. Buy as much as you possibly can if the sucker drops to $5,000 or anything below, $15,000, because it's never really going to get that low again. All right, let's go on to the next article. This one is about the Winklevoss twins. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, yeah, we go. I thought I deleted the altcoin one. All right, the Winklevoss twins. Winklevoss twins will not sell even if Bitcoin price hits $380,000. Now understand, these boys invested $11 million years ago. That's worth now over $1 billion at current market value. Let's see what they have to say. You can follow along from the link in the chat box, or you can just listen. Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss, better known as the Winklevoss twins, still believe Bitcoin will remain as the best investment over the next few decades. $8 trillion market cap. This is what they're predicting. Right now, it is at $594 billion, almost $500 billion market cap. So they're talking about adding another $7.5 trillion to the market. Half of that at least might go to the altcoins. And we're going to get into that article next. So if you think you missed the boat, oh, you haven't. This is just getting started. In 2012, when Facebook went public, the Winklevoss twins received $45 million from the settlement of Facebook founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg. In spite of their lawyers' recommendations to take a cash deal of $45 million, the Winklevoss twins received the settlement in Facebook shares. By 2013, the Winklevoss twins amassed a fortune of $300 million as the shares of Facebook skyrocketed. See, it always goes back to watch who you are listening to. If they listen to their lawyers, because understand, the lawyers have their own agenda as well. Take the $45 million cash today so that they can get paid. Watch just because somebody is a so-called expert in something doesn't make them always correct. Watch who you are listening to. What the hell does the lawyers know about this space in the investing? Because if they knew something about it, they wouldn't be lawyers. They'd be investing and they'd be multi-billionaires. So they didn't listen to their lawyers. They asked for the shares, and now they have $300 million. All right. I just wanted to make that point, because even in this crypto space, you're going to have people out there, especially from the outsiders that are not in the space, that are so-called financial experts. That's going to tell you something. And if you listen, they can talk you out of a fortune. Had I listened to a respectful guy, somebody who was a 7-figure earner, had I listened to him in August, I would be on a job right now. Instead, I made over $1,700 during Christmas time. See, watch who you're listening to. Let me continue. After a successful exit from Facebook, the Winklevoss twins started to purchase Bitcoin at $10 during a time in which only a handful of investors, such as Roger Ver and Charlie Shrem, had invested in the cryptocurrency. Over a span of a few months, Ken, you're trying to get me real excited right now, right? Because as I'm talking, the BCC coin is skyrocketing. It went from 200 to over 400. It doubled in price in a couple of hours as I'm talking. All right, let me continue. Don't get me distracted with that. I'm going to want to go get off here and make some money. All right, after a successful exit, they invested when it was $10. Over a span of a few months, the Winklevoss twins purchased, are you kidding me? 120,000 Bitcoins at an $11 million valuation. Think about that, guys. They purchased 120,000 Bitcoins. They invested $11 million. Today, the 120,000 Bitcoins purchased by the Winklevoss twins are worth $1.68 billion. And the twins have netted a profit of $1.669 billion within merely 4 years. There is no reason why any of you should be in the same situation a year from now that you are today. None. Doesn't matter how much you start with. It's going to grow and expand. While several analysts have stated that the growth of Bitcoin is limited given its market valuation, has already achieved $236 billion. However, the Winklevoss twins told Nathaniel Poppers of the New York Times that the price of Bitcoin will likely increase exponentially throughout many years ahead as it evolves into a major asset class, robust store of value, and medium of exchange. The Winklevoss twins further emphasized that they will not sell Bitcoin, even when its market cap surpasses that of gold at $8 trillion. Wow. These guys are holding for the long haul. Or when its price surpasses $380,950 per coin. Tyler, that will put them at, if it's at 380,000, you know what? Will my calculator go that high? Let's see. They've got 120,000 coins. Multiply that times $380,950. That's $45 billion. $45 billion. Even my calculator's eyeballs just popped out. In a funny way, this is what they said. In a funny way, I'm not sure we'd even sell there when Bitcoin price surpasses $380,950. Bitcoin is more than gold. It's a programmable store of money. It may continue to innovate, Tyler. What are they waiting for, to get to 100 billion? More importantly, Tyler added that the Winklevoss twins are not affected by the high volatility and rapid price movements of Bitcoin because they believe in the long-term performance of the cryptocurrency and the technology behind Bitcoin. You can learn something there, guys. Those of you who got all scared last week because the price dropped by $5,000, $6,000 and freaked out, they're looking long-term, not get rich quick. They said, we are very comfortable in very high-risk environments with absolutely no guarantee of success. I don't mean existing in that environment for days, weeks, or months. I mean year after year. This is called taking a risk. They are taking a risk. They're basically saying, yeah, we're not sweating the high risk. We're not looking at it just from day to day or month to month. We're talking year to year. Now, apart from their success as early-stage Bitcoin investors since 2015, the Winklevoss twins have operated one of the most widely utilized cryptocurrency exchanges in the global market, Gemini. As a fully regulated cryptocurrency exchange by the U.S. government, Gemini has continued to serve professional traders and casual investors in the U.S. market, accounting for a large portion of the USD to BTC trading pair. Ari Paul, the co-founder of the cryptocurrency hedge fund Block Tower and highly respected cryptocurrency analyst, explained that Gemini is an underappreciated exchange. Although it lacks the trading volume and user base of Coinbase and GDAX, Gemini remains as one of the few exchanges U.S.-based investors trust. Gemini is an underappreciated exchange. One of the few exchanges I trust as a custodian, said Paul. Yeah, they're gonna become multi-billionaires just off of their exchange alone. Doug Johnson says, what best vehicle to buy any crypto and wallets you guys use? I'll let, the community out there can type there. I'm very wary about giving financial advice and telling you what wallet you should use or what vehicle you should invest in. All I say is get involved somewhere. Find somebody that you trust. Find somebody that's making some money and let them show you the way. You don't need to listen to me. You don't need to listen to any other person that's out there running their mouths, because I am not a licensed financial advisor. Privately, I can share with you my own opinion, but publicly, I refrain from doing that. All right, now let's look at this article that talks about altcoins. And this is one of my major focuses personally for 2018. It is not Bitcoin. I don't even buy Bitcoin. I earn it. But I'll talk about my strategy, after I read this article here. So let me put this link in the chat box. All right, faced with never owning a whole Bitcoin, investors are turning to altcoins. I mean, think about it, guys. There's more millionaires and billionaires in the world than there are Bitcoins. So if every single millionaire and billionaire wanted to own just one Bitcoin, there's not enough to go around. That should tell you another clue how Bitcoin is going to rise in value. Demand. So for the price of 1 millibit, or 1,000th of a Bitcoin, you can buy 700 Verge or 1,300 Redcoin. These micro-cap coins lack Bitcoin's luster, but they do have two things in their favor. Wait a minute, who wrote this article? Here's another. I always want to know the author of articles, because just because somebody put something in an article, just because something's in a newspaper, just because something's on a news show, does not necessarily make it true, or law, or gospel, or the Bible. It is a human being sharing their opinion on paper. So I always look right. Reason why? Because this guy's name is Kai Segwit, and I don't appreciate his perspective on some of the altcoins. I personally feel, based on his articles, because I've read a lot of them, he is biased. He is completely biased. So I know that going into reading this article, so I can pick and choose what I agree with out of here, because he's not God when it comes to crypto. But let's read the article. Always look at who, not just the message. Sometimes you got to look at the messenger as well. What is the motive? All right, for the price of 1 millibit, yeah, I read that part. Says these microcap coins lack luster, blah blah blah. There's a lot of them and they're cheap. That is true. Priced out of being able to afford a whole Bitcoin, many first-time investors are setting their sights lower. Expensive Bitcoin or cheap altcoins? I say both. I say you have a budget for your Bitcoins and you have a budget for your altcoins. It doesn't need to be either or. As experienced traders will aver, the best time to buy altcoins is when Bitcoin is stagnating. When Bitcoin is rocketing or plummeting, the altcoin markets tend to suffer, as many flocks to BTC or back into fiat. In the last few weeks, however, as Bitcoin has moved sideways, altcoins have soared. At times, every single cryptocurrency in the top 100, save for Bitcoin, has been in the green. As altcoin markets, which have been starved for attention for months, have enjoyed an influx of capital. That is true. I mean, I just go back 2.5 months, and I think the top 7 or 8 coins were above the $1 billion market cap. It got to almost a top 10 maybe back in September. Now, not only are they above $1 billion, there's several billion. I mean, listen to this. Just listen to this number. Bitcoin, 273 billion. Ethereum, 74 billion. Bitcoin Cash, 50 billion. Ripple, 42 billion. Litecoin, 15 billion. Cardano, 10 billion. IOTA, 10 billion. Dash, 9 billion. NEM, 8 billion. Monero, 5 billion. EOS, 5 billion. 5.4 billion. Bitcoin Gold, 5 billion. Qtum, 4.1 billion. Stellar, 3.9 billion. Ethereum Classic, 3.1 bill. Lisk, 2.7 bill. Tron, 2.4 bill. BitConnect, 2.2 bill. Whoa. BitConnect is up 68%. Verge, 2.1 billion. Verge came out of the freaking nowhere. Zcash, 1.6 bill. Ardor, 1.5. You know what? Let me just scroll all the way down. The top 34 coins are over $1 billion in market cap. Just a few months ago, it was only you had to reach the top 5 coins just to crack $2 billion. This is crazy. But the altcoins have shot up in value, which meant you don't need to become a Bitcoin millionaire. You can become an Ethereum millionaire, a Bitcoin Cash millionaire. Bitcoin Cash is above 3,000. You can become a Litecoin millionaire. So let me go back to the article. Established altcoins such as Litecoin and Monero have fared well amidst the flood of new money, but it is the smaller price coins that have benefited the most. The biggest winner this month, up a staggering 3,600%, is Verge. That's the biggest winner is Verge. And I kept hearing about that this weekend. I didn't really look into it. But Tron, up 1,600%, and Redcoin, 1,450%, have also prospered. What's telling is that their astronomical gains, none of these coins cost more than 4 cents. So this is like they're modeled after Ripple. And the reason why they're so cheap is because there's so many of them on the market. See, Bitcoin is priced so high because there's only 16.7 million in circulation. You look at Ripple, there's 38.7 billion in circulation. Cardano, 25.9 billion. IOTA, 2.7 billion. NEM, 8.9 billion. EOS, 563 million. Qtum, 73 billion. Where's Verge? Verge is at 14.3 billion and Tron 65.7 billion. So because there's so many coins, the price is going to be they're down to 8 cents a coin. $422 million market cap. All right, I'm sitting on that. I own 160 something thousand coins there. So you can afford these coins. These cheap coins. I made a lot of money on Ripple because I had bought into Ripple when it was at 40 cents. And Ripple right now, let's see, what is Ripple at? Ripple is at $1.10. All right, sorry about that. My Wi-Fi connection dropped, so I had to switch to, the network. All right, so like I was saying, I did not think that Ripple would ever get over $1 for probably at least another year. Because it had to get to $42 billion market cap to get over $1. So people ask all the time about Electroneum. Brandon, when do you think is going to hit 40 cents? Well, if you look at Ripple, for example, it had to grow from 10 billion in market cap to 40 billion. So if Electroneum right now is at 8 cents with a market cap of 422 million, then it's going to need to be at least maybe 1.4 billion to get to 40 cents. If you're looking at 20 cents, it's going to at least need to be about 1 billion. I need to double that up. Probably, yeah, over 2 billion to get to 40 cents. So it's going to need to be at least maybe 1.2 billion to get to 20 cents. So that's how you can kind of tell a little bit. All right, so let me go back to the article here. Newcomers to the cryptocurrency space are faced with a quandary: to spend months chipping away until they finally acquire a whole Bitcoin, assuming it doesn't rise faster than they can buy, or to snap up a cheap coin and become an instant thousandaire. I'm a completist, one cryptocurrency trader told. It actually bugs me seeing fractions of a coin in my Blockfolio. That's a cryptocurrency app. This might sound silly, but it just looks better seeing hundreds of coins in there. Buying tiny pieces of a Bitcoin is quite demoralizing because you're spending a lot of dollars, but your BTC balance is barely moving. Perhaps the biggest indicator that cheap coins are in vogue is the return of Dodge. It's had a bumper month, gaining 475%, and is currently the only coin left on Bittrex, trading for less than 100 Satoshis. The meme coin has eased past the threshold several times this week and is currently trading at around 98 Satoshis. You guys better get used to hearing that word. 98 Satoshis, 100 Satoshis. That's going to be a way of life very soon. Once Dodge permanently moves into 3 figures, it will signal the end of cheap coins on major exchanges. The number of people who own at least 1 Bitcoin is estimated to be less than 1 million. Think about that. Less than 1 million people own at least 1 Bitcoin. Although the exact number is hard to determine due to the fact that many holdings are stored in pooled exchange wallets. So if you own at least 1 Bitcoin, you are in a rare group. It may not seem like anything today. You fast forward 5 years from now, and it's going to be a huge deal. I know people who own hundreds of Bitcoins. I know them personally. So right now it's still relatively cheap. I have a different strategy on that. I have earned a gang of Bitcoins. My strategy isn't to hold at the moment. The trouble is, well, let's go back. What is indisputable is that the vast majority of cryptocurrency investors will never own a whole Bitcoin. The beauty of Bitcoin is that it can be divided into 100 million parts, so there's plenty to go around. For $14, you can own 1 millibit, or 1,000th of a Bitcoin. The trouble is, no one talks in millibits, nor do they talk about owning 0.0001 of a Bitcoin. Discussing small quantities of Bitcoin is downright awkward. Moreover, in cultures that pride themselves on status symbols, particularly in the East, owning a whole Bitcoin is something to aspire towards. Given the security baked into every Bitcoin, enforced over the course of 500,000 blocks, there's a case for saying that the world's leading cryptocurrency is fairly valued. In fact, many of Bitcoin's proponents believe it to be underpriced. From a psychological perspective, however, having a wallet loaded with 1,000 coins sounds a lot better than one containing 0.0001. It's a vanity thing. It's like a status symbol. Keeping up with the Joneses. This is going to be, imagine going to like these upper middle class type bougie parties, right? And you listen to conversations and where people talking about their new house in the Hamptons, the vacation they took in Aruba. Someone says, oh yeah, I moved 1 Bitcoin from here to there. What? You have 1 Bitcoin? And the other guy says, yeah, I have actually got 3 Bitcoins. That's gonna be the topic. You're gonna have people flossing on Facebook. Yeah, man, I own 4 Bitcoins, man. Showing off their back office. You're going to see it. And people are gonna be like, whoa! And act towards them like they're God figures because they own a couple of Bitcoin. It's a status symbol. You know, I was at Christmas and I was showing my mom how much I made. And she was like, wow, you own how many Bitcoins? I said, Mom, I don't hold the Bitcoins. I let the Bitcoins work for me. I invest with it. I'm not in my holding stage just yet. I've got goals I want to accomplish first. I'll get into that in a second here, but let me continue. It's a vanity thing. Let's see. Because a store, but it's also a practical thing. For it's not just the price of Bitcoin that's turning many would-be investors away. It's also the price of sending it. Because a store of value can be transferred just as efficiently using Dodge or Redcoin, cheap coins are finally starting to provide a tangible use case. Even if the end goal is to convert back into Bitcoin, throw in the prospect of ridiculous gains. Should your chosen altcoin moon, and it's no wonder that cheap is the new expensive. So, my thoughts on this. One of my strategies into 2018 is I'm going to have my own little budget. I don't know, it might be, maybe $5,000 a week. So I'm going to have my own little budget that I'm going to be purchasing crypto coins, about $5,000 a week, and I'm going to spread them out. I'm going to diversify. I'll be buying a little bit of Bitcoin, buy a little of the altcoins. Now, the thing about when I say buy is I'm not going to Coinbase and pulling out my credit card or my bank account and buying 5,000 Bitcoins. I'm taking money that I'm earning in the crypto space and taking that percentage of it and then putting it into the altcoins and spreading it around. I have a goal. I want to have 100 coins each in my altcoins. That's my ultimate goal. You know, it might be a little difficult with Bitcoin Cash and some of the big ones there, but when you look at this wallet here, let me go back. When you look at these wallets, look at the prices. You've got, and I'm sure these are going to skyrocket. Ethereum's at $770, Ripple's $1.10, Litecoin's only at $286. I think that one's going to get to a couple thousand. IOTA's at $3, Cardano 41 cents, NEM is almost at $1. Monero's at $3.75. So some of the big ones I know I want to focus on. I don't know about Bitcoin Gold yet, but Qtum, Neo, Ethereum Classic, Lisk, BCC, let's see, Litecoin, IOTA. I'm going to dump a lot. Well, let me look at my other wallet here. Also, Salt, Funfair, Aragon, Augur, EOS, BAT. I'm going to fill them up. And also in Bitcoin. So that will be my long-term storage, meaning that I'm investing and I'm not going to be using that money to invest. I'm not going to be using these coins to trade. I'm just using these coins to store. But the rest of the money I earn, I'm going to be diversified in other sources. So you got to be smart with your money. Smart with what you're doing. Is that I don't want to put all my money into Bitcoin and then just let it ride. Let it sit there for 5 years. That's not my style. So 2018 is going to be a record-breaking year for a lot of people. It's going to have a lot of challenges along the way as well. Anytime you have progress will always meet resistance. And that resistance can end up being fierce. Meaning, in other words, I guarantee somewhere along the way you're going to lose. Somewhere along the way. By being diversified, that means you're not going to lose everything. But you're going to lose somewhere along the way. So keep that in mind. Make sure you know that. The next thing is be prepared to make adjustments. You've got to be able to take emotions out of the game. Be prepared to take adjustments. I was talking to my business partner, Peter Blackwell, and this would be one of the only times I will say this publicly. But we were running the numbers. And we're looking at, we will earn no less than 7 figures in 2018. Anything less is we did something wrong. Worst case scenario, we do probably worst case 350 or 400,000 for the year in crypto. That's worst case scenario. We have a lot of plans for what we're going to be doing with our lifestyle, what we're going to be investing in, what we're going to be doing with our money in 2018. Myself, Peter, Jairus Coleman, and that's our own thing. And that doesn't mean that what we do is exactly what you should do. You have to figure out for yourself, what is your financial goal? Where do you want to be at the end of the first quarter going into 2018? Where do you want to be going into June when you're halfway through the year? Where do you want to be financially? What do you want your portfolio to look like? Focus on the goal first. Don't worry about at the moment, what vehicles am I going to use to get there and make it happen? Because based on experience, I have learned that what you start off with may not necessarily be what you end with. I didn't start off 2017 in crypto, but I ended it in crypto, ended it in a big way in the crypto space. And there is no one right way or wrong way in this space. There's many different strategies. You've got to come up with your own. You can't, this is why I always kind of refrain. People want to ask me for specific advice. I say my advice is to learn this space. You know your budget, and you come up with the plan that makes sense for you. Don't invest in money that you cannot afford to lose. And expect every time that you do spend any type of money, look at it as being gone. It's gone. The return you make, that's a blessing. But look at it as being gone. That way, you will save yourself if the market turns and you don't have a panic attack. Because the market will turn. It will happen. I expect in 2018, you're going to see an explosion of crypto opportunities popping up. An explosion of them. This is also where you have to be very, very careful, because most of them will be scams. Not all. Most of them will be, to take advantage of people's euphoria and wanting to invest and make money in this space and get rich. Watch who you're listening to with that. But if you do your own research, you will be able to spot them. You will be able to see which ones are more riskier than others. You'll run into some that are not scams at all, but they're still very risky. You've got to be able to see the difference between them and know how to enter it. So I've got my own plan for 2018. I'm still on vacation right now because I'm getting blown up. I've got, just this morning, 7 new opportunities from people that I know, love, and trust that drop it on me, and they either want my opinion or they want me to look at it and take a position and all this stuff. This is where focus comes into place. I lost focus once in the crypto space. Because I tell people I lost money as well. I lost focus one time. It is because I listened to others. And I did not stay on my own path that I set for myself. I allowed myself to listen to others, and I had a fear of loss. And I decided to follow the crowd and jump on board and listen to what others had to say, and I lost money. I'm not doing that again. Here's one thing that I do love. Nobody owns me. Nobody can tell me what to do. Nobody. I have no boss. I don't answer to anybody but God and my wife. Sometimes my mother. Completely 100% self-sufficient. And you want to be, that's ultimate freedom, where you have time and money. This should be your goal for 2018. Complete freedom. I love it. What I don't like, though, is, and this comes with the territory of getting hit up 1,000,000 times a day, you know. And I'm that guy that I don't want to feel like I'm ignoring you or anything. But when I say the time ain't right yet, the time ain't right yet. Stay focused and execute your plan. Because the other people that's talking to you, I'm telling you right now, I keep it real. They do not have your best interest at heart. Yes, they may want to help you, but always the best interest they have at heart is their own. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. They're not Jesus. They're not here to save you. They can offer you an opportunity. It's up to you to take it or not. But understand that they always have their best interest at heart, not yours. The most reliable hand that you can always depend on is the one at the end of your own risk. Did I say that right? Wrist. I said risk. Wrist. That's the one you can depend on. Everybody else has an agenda and a motive. I have an agenda and a motive. I'm looking out for my best interest. But I will not look out for my best interest at the expense of others. So going into 2018, keep that in mind as well. Do not look after your best interest at the expense of other people. Because karma is a bitch, and it will come back on you. May not be today. So I find it funny, I'm looking at people that is calling everything in the crypto space a scam because they're attempting to protect their own check. They're going to wake up one day and find out that the doors on their own business is closed, and they didn't see that one coming. People that delight and joy in the demise of others. I can't stand that. I call you out real quick. The moment I see somebody talking negative about something else, whether it's legitimate or not, is not your business. That's not your place. You're not Captain Save a Bitcoin. You're not Agent Smith. That ain't your place. Stay in your lane. So with that, guys, this is the day after Christmas. I am going to spend the day with my kids playing with all their toys. But the greatest feeling of all was on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I made over $1,700 without lifting a finger. That was freaking awesome. And I can't wait to see what 2018 holds for myself, my family, my business partners, and those that I love. Biggest gift I gifted my mother wasn't an investment account in the crypto space. Because that's a gift that will continue to keep on giving. So with that, guys, tonight, if you are interested in what it is that I do, I will be taking a break from family, and I will be doing a presentation tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and depending on the news, I'll do a late night crypto talk. But you got to send me a private message if you want the link to my presentation tonight. It'll be 30 minutes long. I don't buy Bitcoin, I earn it. And what we do, whether Bitcoin price goes up or Bitcoin price goes down, we still get paid. We made a lot of money as the Bitcoin price was going down. People don't understand that concept. Yeah, we still got paid. So if you want to learn how to earn money that way and not just buying and holding, then shoot me a message. I'll give you a link to the invitation for tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I wish you guys, those of you who are still on vacation, I've got my kids for another 2 weeks. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time with them because 2018 is going to be crazy. Just so you guys know, as a heads up, I will be in London in April for the Blockchain Expo. taking a cruise in the summer. I'll be going to Philly for graduation. I think that's in June. I've got what I'm going to be putting together, and this right now it's probably going to be in Vegas, but we're going to have a celebration event in Vegas. You got to send me a private message if you want the link. I'm not going to put the link in here. In Vegas, we're going to have a private event, celebration, maybe a one-day training on the crypto space, but really just for all of our team members to get together and hang out with each other. Or we might do a private resort, either in Florida, or there's a really nice one in Arizona. You know, we're going to do something. We're also going to do a big event for our team in London in April. We'll be in Dubai in October, Paris in November, as if I go with my wife or not. And that's just what I know. I do plan on traveling a lot. I want to be in a different city at least once a month. That's my goal going into 2018. We'll see if we can keep that one up. I'm a private guy. I don't like to be bothered too much. But we'll see. Got to step out there, taking it to the next level. So with that, guys, thank you guys for listening. If you want that link, send me a private message, and I'll get it over to you. Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Bitcoin Brandon out. Have a great day. Bye-bye.